the first time I heard Earth Crisis was seeing Earth Crisis by accident. so the situation there was like tenfold, because I got to say, I was younger in this hardcore punk scene in New York. Mm-hmm. The PWAC was where people went to shows. The People with AIDS Coalition. It was basically a big warehouse on the backside of this nonprofit organization. In the front, they leased out the back. The PWAC is a very famous venue for Long Island. When I got into hardcore and punk, I obviously started going to these shows because that's where people went. And there was a big show, like Earth Crisis. No idea, right? I was still gleaning information from everywhere. Like, what is this band? What is that? What am I, packed, crazy. The words were like, what are they? This is wild. So that I think maybe the next day or whatever, I went to the mall and I was able to find the All Out War tape at The Wall, which was the music store that I went to. And because of Earth Crisis, this is wild. What is it? Then I read the lyrics and I was like, oh my, it was like over my head at this point as a, mid-teenager. It was like, I didn't even really know what the word militant meant at that point, but that's what people will go on to like associate Earth Crisis with, right? Militant, straight edge veganism. I'm just like, this is over my head, but it was a very quick learning process being associating with a lot of the people in the hardcore and punk community, learning that vegetarianism, straight edge, and veganism were like a thing within this community, knowing that my mom was vegan and vegetarian, and we sort of would speak about it here and there. And I toyed with the idea of being vegetarian a couple times. And once I got into the community more and frequented shows, saw Earth Crisis and saw this huge like you can imagine what Earth Crisis in 1995-ish, 4 or 5 would be. It was just like, this is important. This is something. And I'm reading the words more and more, some stuff completely over my head. I would ask some questions like, what's the deal? What is straight edge? At that point, I didn't know what straight edge, what is veganism? What is vegetarianism really? Got into it. I read the words. And from there, I was like, oh, I love animals. I don't drink or smoke or do drugs currently. I never have. I never did. I just was like, oh, that's me. So I fell right into the straight edge identity, very young age. I was like, all right, this is cool. And there's people like me. And there's people who really, really care about the environment and animal rights and veganism. So if I'm going to be vegetarian, I might as well try to be vegan, right? That was like a ping pong match for many, many years. It was like, just like cold turkey veganism in 1995, like we're back to the lettuce and tomato sandwiches. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm a big guy too. I really like, lots of fries. Because I'm always hungry. I lost a ton of weight. I was like super, super skinny in high school. I was like, because I wasn't eating anything, you know what I mean? But I was like, it's for the animals. It's for the earth. It's, you know what I mean? I was like really getting into that whole, like I'll suffer, through it so some animals can live, you know what I mean? Really, really, really into that idea. And still am, into that idea, but I'll eat now. Now you can eat a lot better. But then, so the Earth Crisis thing, it's just like transcended all these literal like decades now, right? We're like 3 decades in of Earth Crisis being around and influencing music, and not just music, but the audience and their message. And I had mentioned earlier in a conversation that like they are going to influence generations forever. Yeah. They are going forever. Like my and yours experiences with them will happen to 15-year-olds till the end of time. The hardcore metal punk community will exist forever. Earth Crisis will exist forever because music is forever. People are going to find it and have that like interaction, like, oh, I care about animals. I care about, the world. I care about my body, whatever sort of route they're going to take. But that's what happened to me. And it's like, they're going to influence for generations. They've influenced me. I'm 43 years old now, and they've been influencing since I was, 15. And to a point where I named my business after one of their songs. And I named one of the items after one of their songs. And I made sure to reach out to them before I did anything. And I was like, hey, listen, love you guys. I started a business, and this was like after I had already registered the business, but I was like, had my fingers crossed. I was like, I named my business this. It's an all vegan business. I hope you're okay with it. Are you not? I hope you're okay with it. Are you okay with this? Because I was using obviously some of their, their artwork, their fonts and stuff, very, very close to all of their artwork and stuff. So I wanted to make sure it was cool. And Scott from Earth Crisis was the one to receive my message, and he said, "Totally cool. Just send me some stuff." And I was like, wow, okay. Like, and I have no connection with them at all. Like, I don't know them as friends or people. I just know them as their Earth Crisis and who they are. I know there's a lot of people in my circle of friends who know them directly, but I was just like a stranger reaching out. I was like, listen, you influenced me. I kind of gave them the same spiel I just told you guys. I was like, I saw you guys in 1995. You influenced me for this long, and I started a business. And that's comes full circle, seeing them as a kid and having that huge impact then to wanting to sort of put their stamp on something via my business, because that's how much I feel like they deserve that, that timeless sort of recognition. And if somebody listens to Earth Crisis by accident because of my business, that's a win in my book as well.